Hey, it's Alexa from Type A for Alexa, and it is time to work on my November spread and setup in my A5 bullet journal. I cannot believe we're in November already. Here is a look at the themes that I've done so far, and clearly I'm up to date. This is one of my favorite spreads in the beginning of my journal and where I get most of the information for my monthly spreads. And all the way in the back of this journal, October turned out pretty good, if I do say so myself. I used my neon Halloween monthly layout sticker kit and all of the bits and bobs. But here we are. Here's November, all the way in the back of this journal. And I'm doing a little throwback and hand drawing my monthly. And I also have some of my weeklies laid out to save time. But the plan for today is to use all of the goodness that you see spread around my desk, all of these stickers and washi tapes and the pet tape, minus the one roll of black bows. Actually, I think there's 2 rolls over there of bow washi that I just grabbed because the colors matched a little bit. The rest of it is all from Lauren Phelps Designs, my good friend Lauren. I was visiting her last weekend and telling her I had no idea what to do for my November setup or theme. I didn't want to do fall again because I already did that in September. And she threw all of her Chicago planner conference swag at me and said, "Here, do a theme with all of this," which is actually so fitting because I am attending the Chicago Planner Conference with Lauren actually this weekend. I am recording this voiceover on the 4th, Tuesday, November 4th, and I leave to head to Chicago bright and early Friday the 7th. Is that the 7th? 4th, 5th, 6th? Yes, Friday the 7th. So I have all of these amazing stickers. Some of this is swag. Some of this is stuff she sold in advance of CPC so that people could do like countdown spreads and stuff. So I got all the goodies, and it actually works out well because I'm going to be there. This is my first Chicago Planner Conference, so I might as well do a whole setup regarding it. But she has this awesome pet tape and the washi tape. And like I said, I just picked coordinating washi's just in case I need some space fillers. So yeah, that's why I hand drew my monthly spread. Since I wasn't using one of my layout sticker kits, I'm using all of this deco instead. I figured that would probably be the easiest rather than creating a kit and printing and cutting it for myself. I've also thought about using these half boxes for my tabs because there are 4 colors and I have 4 weekly spreads. And since there are 2 of each sticker, I could do them front and back. But then I also wanted to unroll this pet tape and see if there were any images that might work better for tabs or that I liked better. I love this pet tape so much. There was so much thought and attention to detail put into it. Her pet tapes are the best. So I'm not exactly sure yet what I'm going to do about the tabs, but I have options. We can try the pet tape, or I'll just use those half boxes and we'll just roll with it. I was also thinking that if I didn't use the pet tape or the half boxes, that I could just cut the tabs into a certain shape and use the washi tape. I've done washi tabs before, so that's also an option. Like I said, I'm still undecided, and I probably won't decide until the last second. But I do know that I have to cut my divider tabs into 4 sections, all of an equal length. So no matter what I end up with, that's what we're going to do. But this washi tape is super pretty. It says planner friends make the best friends on it. But there are sections of it that's just floral that I could use. So I don't know. I'm going to continue trimming my divider tabs, like I said, into 4 equal sizes. You'd think I knew how many boxes were in this journal already by heart, since we're now in the 11th month of the year, but I don't. I still have to count. It's fine. This is also probably the only part of the video that will be in real time. The rest of it I'm just going to speed up because it's just decorating and drawing out weekly spreads. If you've seen any of my previous videos, I kind of gravitate towards the same thing. Although I will say, I think I'm trying a couple of new layouts this month. But yeah, I'm just basically going over my pencil marks with a micron and finishing my weekly spread. So that's not something I need to talk you through step by step, but I do know people like to see the kind of real time setup of the dividers because that's the most difficult part. So I will show you that. I'm pretty sure we're just going to go with the half boxes. It just seems right. There's 2 of each. I like a double-sided tab. I needed 4 weeks. It's not the exact shape I love for my tabs, but we're making it work. So I will also say, as I was stenciling these out and cutting them, I realized a change that I want to make to the way I do my dividers for my 2026 bullet journal. You'll see when my tabs are finished, and if you've seen any of my other videos, like I've said, you've seen them completed where I don't have my divider tabs going all the way to the edge of the notebook. I cut off 2 grid spaces and then I start my divider tabs so that my divider tabs end up further into the notebook. Don't ask me why I started doing that. I don't really know, but I think I'm going to stop. I think in 2026, my tabs are going to go all the way to the edge of the notebook just so that I can have a little bit more wiggle room with my weekly spreads because it is limiting since I end up taking off 4 grid spaces minus the divider tab itself on each weekly spread. I do end up not allowing myself so much room in my weekly spread. So that is a lesson I've learned throughout this bullet journal. And have I mentioned that this is my first year ever bullet journaling? So I'm not mad about what I've accomplished and created in this notebook. I've learned quite a bit. I've definitely learned what my style is, what I like and what I don't like. And now I have a couple of things that I want to tweak for next year to make it even better. So that's definitely something I will be changing moving forward. I'm not going to change it for December because I want this notebook to be pretty cohesive and kind of the same style, but definitely in January spread, I will be doing that. So I have my 4 equal divider tabs, and I know this sticker is not going to be the exact width, I don't like that word, the exact width of these tabs, but we're going to make it work. It will be fine. I just have to clean up all of my pencil marks because Lauren's stickers are printed on that super thin kind of translucent washi paper, and I definitely don't want any of the pencil marks showing through that. So I have to clean all of this up first, and then I can get to laying these stickers down and seeing how they work as tabs. So like I said, this is that super thin washi paper. I love it so much. It does not bulk up your planners and your pages. You could decorate with it every week, and it really is not going to add the same amount of thickness to your page like a normal sticker will. So clearly I didn't lay that down correctly. I don't want any of the sticker above the page because this is thin washi paper. It would not be very sturdy at all. So I have to line it up correctly. Just give me a second to do that. And that's close enough. Just don't look too hard at it. Like I said, I knew these weren't going to be the right width, but hopefully the way I trim it, it won't look so terrible. Yeah, we're just gonna keep on keeping on. We've committed to it now. It's not coming back off the page. So we just got to make the best of it. I will say I do love the color palette of all of Lauren's CPC stickers. I'm not 100% sure if this is the actual color palette of Chicago Planner Conference or if this is something Lauren picked just for her stuff. It might be the Planner Conference color palette. But it's really pretty, and it's not normally colors I would put together, but I kind of like it, so I'm not mad about it. And just while I finish this up, a little bit about Chicago Planner Conference, or really planner conferences in general, since I can't speak on Chicago since I've never been there. But I have been to quite a few other planner conferences, and I've even hosted some back in the day. Man, planner conferences are another world. if you are in the planner community, or if you maybe aren't in the planner community, but you are listening to me here now and you would love to be around like-minded planner people because you enjoy planning, planner conferences are so much fun. And don't get me wrong, they can be overwhelming, but I feel like it's overwhelming in the best way. I remember my first planner conference. Oh man, I couldn't even tell you what year it was now. I would say it was 2018 or I think it was 2018, maybe 2019. I attended the Go Wild Planner Conference in Austin, Texas. And that was when my shop, quote unquote shop, because I was only selling on Instagram at that point. I hadn't even moved to my own website or Etsy yet. But that was when my quote unquote shop kind of blew up on Instagram. And going to a planner conference was like, I don't even know how to describe it. I can tell you that I couldn't walk 10 feet without somebody stopping me, saying they recognize me from my Instagram stories, or they've purchased from me, or they know about my stuff, and asking for a picture or to sign their planner or to just wanted to stop and chat and say hi. It was the wildest thing I've ever experienced. Like, yeah, a little bit feeling like a celebrity, like people asking for my picture. I think I even got stopped in the airport as soon as I landed and somebody asked to take my picture. I was like, why does anybody want a picture of me? I'm so confused. But then I got there and I saw shop owners that I had been following for a couple years at that point and that I fangirled over. And I saw businesses and I met Erin Condren and fangirled over her at the time. This was kind of like pre-Erin Condren controversy. So then like I got it. Then I was like, oh, like this is special, meeting people that you followed for months and years and that you've purchased from and that you admire their work or you admire them as a person or you just like their stories and interacting with them online. Like I got it after that. But when I tell you at first, I was like starstruck that people were starstruck by me. It was the oddest thing. So that was my first experience at a planner conference. The swag was bananas. It just never stopped coming. The table decorations were insanity. Like the shops put so much effort and time and money into decorating the tables for the attendees. The speakers, like I'm pretty sure I cried. I think I've cried at every planner conference I've been to. Like I said, I've been to quite a few now. Some of the workshops and speakers, they might not be as emotional or maybe as deep as others, but like you get something from every speaker and every workshop. Even if it's something little, you get a tip or a trick or a word of advice or a quote or a lesson. And then you get to hang out with people who love stickers and stationery and pens and pencils and highlighters and sticky notes and journals and notebooks and planners just as much as you do. And to be in a room of hundreds and sometimes thousands of those type of people, I swear I go home feeling like I could conquer the world after a planner conference. Yes, I get a little bit socially exhausted. It's a lot of socializing, but I don't know, being around people that understand your hobby, that understand your love of stationery, it's just such a great feeling. And 99% of the people I have met in the planner community are amazing. So like it's great. If you've never been to a planner conference, I suggest looking into them. If it sounds like something you'd like to do, I don't think you'll regret it. But like I said, this is my first Chicago planner conference that I'm going to. So I am very excited about that. They sold out in like 0.5 seconds this year. I'm going to help Lauren vend. But speaking of Lauren, here's my finished tabs. And I'm not mad about them. The shape isn't one I love. It's a little hard to cut this the right way to match the sticker. So I'm kind of just cleaning it up as best as I can and making the best of it. Like I said, these were never meant to be tabs, so this is not a knock on Lauren stickers. This is not what these stickers are for. I'm just kind of using them the way I need to, and it's not the best set of divider tabs I've ever created, but it's not the worst. So after some trimming as close as I can, getting the shape to look decent, I think these will work just fine, and I think it was a cool way to repurpose those half box stickers that I would not have used in my weekly spreads anyway. So I'm going to call that a win. All right, now that my divider tabs are pretty much done, I am going to speed this up a little bit because I'm just going to be doing some trimming and then outlining and decorating for the next little while. Like I said, I hand drew my monthly this month because this wasn't a sticker kit meant for a monthly bullet journal or anything like that. So I am a little excited about that. That's a nice change that I haven't done in quite a few months. And I already pre-laid that out based on I think my February's layout was the last one that I hand drew. So I just copied the spacing of that one. So my monthly spread should go pretty quick. I just need to outline my calendar, get my dates in there, and then decorate all of the edges. And I can start that now that the tabs are done. So like I said, I use a micron. I like the 0.5 nib. I think the 0.3 and the 0.1, I think those are the other nibs that I have. They're just a little too thin to use a ruler with. It kind of feels scratchy to me, and I don't love the noise of it. So I like the 0.5, and I like that I can lift my ruler and set it back down immediately, and I don't get any smudging. I mean, sometimes I do. Let's be real, it's not perfect. But for the most part, I don't get any smudging. So I can work pretty fast when I use this pen and not really worry about that. So I am loving the fact that I have pre-laid this out because that makes this go so much faster. I really need to work on that before I do all of these monthly spreads, because staring at blank pages and having to start like that is just, it's not the vibe. So I have so much stuff here to choose from. Oh yeah, I forgot that I have to do that like background page. So these longer stickers are going to be perfect for that. And I'm just going to fill in those missing edges with some of these florals, and I'm going to hope to blend it and make it look like it was all one sticker. But I think that's going to work perfectly for that like back landing page where my dividers lay. So I'm just going to get that done real fast while I'm thinking about it, and then we'll move on. So I'm really happy with the way that turned out, and I think the color of the tabs looks great against that. So I definitely want to use that tall Chicago sticker. We're going to use some of this washi. It doesn't fit perfectly at the bottom, but I'm just going to trim off the excess because I always do love like a washi border at the bottom. So we're going to trim this and make it work. Not everything needs to fit perfectly. You can definitely just cut stuff up to make it work for what you need. But I did intentionally get the full quote down there on that side that says, planner friends make the best friends. So that was intentional. I got to erase all of my pencil marks and then lay down some more washi. And this has the other quote on it that says, planner friends, the family you didn't know you needed. And that's how I honestly feel about planner conferences. It is the social event that you didn't know your life was missing. But the Chicago sticker fits perfectly down there. I have to add my monthly header, and I definitely want a scripty one. So I'm going to use this floral like die cut washi border at the top and then lay my monthly header sticker over that, and that will work perfectly. And I'm just going to look for other bits and pieces to fill in all of this white space now. After I date my calendar, of course, because I think last month I left that for last and had to come back and do it. So I'm going to get that done real fast. And then we're going to fill in this white space and my monthly spread will be done. So I'm loving these Chicago specific stickers. I definitely want to use those all over. And then I will put in this sticker that actually says Chicago Planner Conference 2025 on the day that it is, like on my monthly spread. So I'm going to mark that off with this washi that I took out. I thought the pink matched the pinks of all of these stickers. Close enough anyway. This is old Simply Gilded washi. I just took the wrapper off it, but it's still old. So I can use that sticker for the actual conference day. And then all of these little pieces. I just love these little deco pieces. They're so good. Lauren's stickers are also amazing for junk journaling. She really just, like that sticker that I put next to that Chicago map up there, that's like a little junk journal layered spread. There's a couple pieces in there, but it's all one sticker. I just love that look. So I feel like we're almost done. I don't want this to be too busy, but I'm liking how it's turning out so far. And we're just going to finish this floral border to tie both pages together. And I think we're pretty much done. I kind of really like this. And I think that is solid for my monthly spread. So, like I said about my weeklies, I already stenciled them out. I'm pretty sure these are all ones that I did previously in the year. This one specifically, I think it's been a while since I've done this layout, but the other ones I've done. So I'm going to super speed these up because how many lines do you need to see me draw with a ruler? That being said, I am very excited to start 2026's setup. I'm also getting a little nervous that December is quickly approaching and I need both my normal bullet journal and my junk drawer notebook, which I think I said I'm not calling it a junk drawer notebook this next year. But whatever, I name that again. I need to have those set up, and those are not easy tasks. It took me days, if not weeks, to set them up last year. So I need to get on that as soon as I get back from CPC. But that's definitely not happening before CPC. So we're just going to put that in the back burner of my mind for a moment and just be happy that we're finishing November before November. Honestly, when I did this, I'm pretty sure it was Halloween, if not the day before. So this was done before November, which I always call a win. So you'll see I left the sides of these boxes open. That's where I'm going to lay my daily header stickers. And I just feel like since I use clear stickers, I prefer clear sticker paper. It's just my jam. Rather than lay them on a line or inside of it, I feel like it gives it a more thought out look if I can finish the box around the header. That's why I left all of these boxes wherever the header would be. I left them open, and I'm just going to go finish that at a later point in time. Right now I'm realizing that I don't have this header stickers that I need to finish that, but hopefully I'll get that done before the summary flip through at the end of this video. I definitely thought I had all of the stickers I needed out on my desk, but I am wrong. So I'm going to cut up some of these stickers that were meant for like packing list spreads, like larger spreads, and use that as the header for my little packing list over there. I think that works perfectly. Those flight tracking stickers are a little too big for the spread that I decided to do this week, but I am going to use some of the other pieces to represent my flights and the actual conference days and the days that I'm in Chicago. I normally don't put stickers in my spreads representing things like that, representing plans. I usually just use the pen, but I think that's perfect for the conference. So I'm going to go finish these little boxes. Like I said, I think it gives it a more thought out look. Does that make sense? Okay. I'm not going to lie. I had to get on a phone call, and while I was on that phone call, I just kept working because I didn't want to waste time and I didn't know how long the phone call was going to last. So I got more of my weekly spreads done. Right now, I'm just deciding if I want to do more under highlighting. So I found a couple highlighters that match all of the colors pretty well. And I think that is something that I'm going to bring through all of the spreads now, even though I kind of missed doing it in the first spread. Those stickers are already down. They are not coming back up. But I like how it looked in the spread before this, so I think I'm going to continue doing it through the rest of the month. And somehow the first two colors that I pulled out to try to color match this theme matched perfectly. So I'm just taking that as a sign that they need to be used. So once I add all of these header stickers down, I'm just going to find a couple spots that need a little pop of color from all the deco stickers. And then, is this week 3? Week 2? No, this is week 3. Then week 3 will be done. So yeah, I'm really happy with myself for pre-laying these out. This is not something I dread doing every month. I just dread the planning part of it. I love actually executing it, but it's the planning of all the weekly spreads. And maybe I could make it easier on myself and just pick 4 to 5 weekly spreads that I repeat every single month, since there are a couple that I'm kind of doing that with anyway. But sometimes I get inspiration and want to try something new, and I just need to stop that. I just need to make it easy on myself. But I am loving all of these deco stickers. They're adding just the right amount of decoration to all of these spreads. Yeah, I'm just really happy with how this turned out, and I'm really happy Lauren gave me this idea, because I was really struggling. Y'all, I do not know what I was going to do for my November theme if she hadn't have given me all of this stuff. So again, thank you, Lauren. Your stuff is great, and my setup is turning out super cute. So week 3 is done, and that means I only have one left, which is exciting. This is definitely one I've done before, with the full weekly on the left side, kind of like table format, and then my now 5 used to be 4 boxes on the right side. So nothing special happening here. Honestly, feel free to let me know how you feel about how I speed these videos up after the dividers. If you'd rather me keep them the hour and a half they end up at normal speed, so you can see how long these actually take me, if that's something you're interested in. Just let me know, because obviously I plan on continuing to do these throughout next year and all of that. So I want to give the people what they want. So if you are okay with, just the kind of chit chat in the beginning and the setup of the dividers, because that's usually the most intricate part, and then just kind of speeding through the weeklies, I will continue to do that, because maybe you don't want to sit at your computer for an hour and a half listening to me ramble about nonsense for you to see the finished product at the end. I don't know. Or maybe you do, and that's great. I love watching long form YouTube videos while I work, so just let me know. But we are approaching the end of week 4, which means we are approaching the end of this entire setup, which is amazing. I'm so happy it's done. I'm so happy with how it turned out. And I will give you a flip through as soon as the rest of these headers are laid down and these boxes are set up. And speaking of these boxes being set up, that always means adding the checklist marks to it. And I'm still going strong with these 2 little stencils that I've been using all year that I've spoken about before. I have no idea where I got them, but I have yet to find a stencil that works as well as these. I have been searching Etsy for some stencils. I'm not going to lie, some people put items on stencils that are just so small you can't even get the proper stencil onto your paper, because you'd need like a negative 0.5 nib, like tip on your pen. Like the details can't be so small that I can't use a normal pen with it. Like stop. I have a bone to pick with stencil makers. But anyway, here we are. Here's how November turned out in my A5 bullet journal, using all of Lauren Phelps Designs Chicago Planner Conference stickers and washi tape and pet tape. And I'm not going to lie, I freaking love it. I love the colors. I love that it's all cohesive and light and pretty. And I love that it represents the Chicago Planner Conference that I'm so excited to go to. I'm really excited to help Lauren vend. I think this is the third or fourth time that I'm helping her vend. I'm just excited. I will catch you guys in the next video.